Hi, guys. Today we're going to read a story called Sky Color. And Sky Color is what we call realistic fictional text. And in realistic fictional text, if you remember from our classroom discussions, that's that's stories that are made up but could happen in real life. And so when we read realistic fictional text, we look for characters who act and talk like real people, events that could really happen, and ways pictures and words help you understand the story. So, we're going to read Sky Color and we're going to talk about point of view. Sky Color by Peter H. Reynolds. Marisol was an artist. She loved to draw and paint, and she even had her very own art gallery. Not all her art hung in a gallery. Much of it she shared with the world. She painted posters to share ideas she believed in. And at school, Marisol was famous for her creative clothes, her box of art supplies, and her belief that everybody was an artist. Yes, Marisol was an artist through and through. So when her teacher told the class they were going to paint a mural for the library, Marisol couldn't wait to begin. The classroom buzzed with the sound of brainstorming. The students talked and sketched, and together they made a great big drawing. Then they marched to the library. I'll paint a fish. I'll paint one too. I'll paint the ocean. Marisol shouted, I'll paint the sky. Marisol rummaged through the box of paint, but could not find any blue. How am I going to make the sky without blue paint? The bell rang. It was time to put their brushes down for the day. As she climbed aboard the bus, Marisol kept wondering. All the way home, she stared out the window. The sun lowered closer to the horizon. Later at home, Marisol watched day turn into night. That night, Marisol settled into a deep dream. She drifted through a sky swirling with colors. Then colors mixed, making too many to count. In the morning, Marisol stood waiting for the bus in the rain. The sky was not blue. She smiled. At school, Marisol raced to the library. She grabbed a dish and began adding colors. This one, that one, she swirled the brush to make an altogether new color. Marisol then began painting on the wall. A boy asked, What color is that? That, Marisol said, that is sky color. I wonder what it's going to be. I wonder. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Sky color. And that's the end. Okay, friends, so very quickly, we're going to talk about point of view and the assignment that you're going to be doing in your lesson this week. Let's think about point of view. Okay, what point of view is sky color written in? What clues from the story let you know that? We're going to look at the anchor chart to help you, and then we're going to come back to the sentence stem. So let's look at the point of view anchor chart. Okay? The author's purpose for writing this story was to entertain us. Remember, we talked about that in class about how the author entertains us. He looks for our point of view, he looks for perspective. There are three reasons that an author writes a story. And remember the pie that we drew to go along with that. So, for this particular story, it was to entertain us. But someone's point of view is the way he or she sees things happen. And we're going to use the anchor chart, to learn a little bit more about point of view. So, point of view, and look at this little guy. He says, who tells the story? Okay, so the point of view is who tells the story. Someone's point of view is the way he or she sees things happen. Okay, who? And I guess if you have a hard time remembering, remember the little owl, who? That's what owls say. Who tells the story? Okay, so there are 2 points of view here. We've got third person. Third person. What does that mean? Third person is a person who is not in the book and who's telling it. So, what we look for a third person, look for the words he, she, or they. Third person. That's who's not telling the story. So let's think about sky color. Okay, now let's go on to first person. First person, that's another point of view. First person is a person who is in the story or in the book and is telling it. Okay, so we look for the words I, me, or my. So, first person, a person who is in the book, is telling it. Look for the words I, me, or mine. And look at this little guy. So he kind of says me, my, I. And then third person, going back, look for the words he, she, or they. Okay. So now let's switch back over to our point of view activity. Okay, let's think about the point of view. Remember, it's who, the little owl, who is telling the story. So, what point of view is sky color written in? What clues from the story let you know that? Go back to the anchor chart that we talked about. Remember, who is telling the story? Third person or first person? So, what point of view is sky color written in? And you're going to follow this sentence stem to complete. Sky color was written in blank person. You have 2 choices, third person or first person. Remember, third person, someone who is not in the story, is telling it. Look for he, she, they. Or first person, someone who is in the story, who's telling the story. Look for I, me, and my. Okay, so sky color was written in blank person because blank. What clues help you realize or help you figure out what person it was written in? So, right here, this is where you're going to write your reason. Why do you think it was written in first person or third person? Okay. And then you can write your sentence down here on these 3 lines. Sky color was written in blank person because, and then write your reason down here. Okay. So remember, point of view, either first or third person. So fill in the blank and then write your reason. And then write that sentence down here in the story. All right, friends? I'll see you next time.